Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload is going to be about the snowstorm that's going to be occurring across the country. It will be bringing very chilly conditions, but we talked about that in yesterday's video, so you can go check that out. Today's video is just about the snow, so consider subscribing to this channel, consider liking this video if you like what we do. We basically just talk about the weather, make our own forecasts, and just basically make it simpler for you to understand, because sometimes the way the weather channel or NOAA puts it is either A, incorrect, or B, very hard to understand if it is correct. And so, I'm trying to get that kind of the combination of those two, being correct and making it simpler. So consider subscribing, consider liking the video, and always remember to leave a nice comment in the description or in the comment box below. So we're looking at the GFS model, the Global Forecasting System, almost forgot its name. And this GFS has been doing an actually pretty it's been doing an okay job. I'm not gonna say it's been doing a good job. I'm not gonna say it's been doing a horrible job, because it maybe have some truth to it, but it's been here was the situation a week ago, or about a week ago, this past Monday that just passed. I was looking at the models, and the GFS was really not showing any signs of any snowstorm, while the European was showing two big snowstorms. Now the GFS, or go forward to a couple of days. It is now Saturday, and the European is still showing two snowstorms. One bigger, one smaller. That's really what it was showing at the beginning. And the GFS is now showing two snowstorms as well, just different positions, different timings, and just a little bit different than the European, obviously. In order for those two models to agree, it's gonna be rare, but it has happened in the past, but this time, of course, they didn't, like in most cases. But again, basically what happened is the GFS kind of caught up to what the European was showing, and the European was like the first one to catch on to what was happening. So basically, let's just look at this. Here's a big system that's happening right now across portions of the Midwest. Very heavy rain potential across the Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin area, and this quickly moves off. No snow with this one. Brings a little bit of chillier air behind it, though, and that really sets the stage for this first system to erupt. And now you can see the GFS has it bringing snow across northern Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, northern Missouri, which the European does not really agree with. It brings it a little bit further to the north, but we'll see what's the outcome. What actually happens. I'll show you the European in just a bit. But this is the second bigger storm that occurs. This is, it's literally a couple days later, and it's the same exact layout. It comes through the west, through the Rockies, dumps even more snow across Colorado. Now this is Wednesday, October 30th. We start seeing it develop. It's a bit stronger. It's quite a bit stronger. Notice how some heavy rain could develop across Kentucky, Tennessee, and Ohio. Basically, the Ohio Valley seeing some heavy rain out of this. But on the backside of this, some pretty darn heavy snow, guys. And this could actually not only bring snow to locations where they haven't seen it yet, but bring hefty snow amounts, and potentially northern Illinois, Indiana, Michigan also seeing some snow out of this. The main, something that's also very important about this forecast is a lot of cold is left behind it, and then this kind of sets the stage for snow showers, clippers coming across the country. You can see this one's a little bit further to the north, but definitely it's kind of like a whole new pattern sets itself up. You can see this GFS even shows a possible snowstorm across the northeast, very far out. Not going to talk about it, but that's just possibility. And it's very interesting. We'll just have to see what goes on in the future. But let me show you the snowfall totals, what the GFS is showing for the two storms. So let's go back and ignore anything past like 150, or basically just let's encompass those two snowstorms and nothing else. And we're gonna wait for this to load. It may take a bit. Sometimes you gotta just move it around, and maybe hopefully it will load. All right, so this is Saturday, November 2nd. So that's after both of the storms passed through. You can see decent amounts, very healthy amounts It centers itself across Iowa, Wisconsin, into Illinois, into Wisconsin as well, southern Wisconsin, Missouri, Kansas, seeing quite a bit of snow out of this. And this would be very, significant for this time, as this is just the beginning of November. We would be seeing the snowstorm fairly far to the south. So this is, very interesting to see how this exactly plays out. But notice how 6, 8, 3, 12, a bunch of varying numbers, but we have that hot spot through central Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, and Wisconsin. Now let me show you what the first snowstorm brings. Again, this one's much weaker, the first one. You can see only bringing maybe 1 to 3, tops 3 inches of snow across Wisconsin, Iowa. And again, this is the GFS. It thinks it's going to be pretty far to the south. European thinks it's going to be a little bit further to the north. And then the second system is much more significant, bringing more snow. And then if we go zooming into the outer longer range, you can see more snow comes along this way. But this is kind of like that main story. Now I want to show you the European model. This one again is the favorite model, or like the favored model in this case. It basically had a better handle of this system almost a week ago. This whole this combination of these two systems, really, there's two, and so basically, this is the one that's gonna take a little bit more into. It's gonna be a little bit bigger factor into the overall forecasting by the National Weather Service and other forecasters. And again, I think the European has more control over this situation here. So let's go over this and see again that heavy rain event across the U.S. doesn't show any snow for any portions of the U.S. either, the European as well as the GFS, so that's good. That passes through. Nothing to worry about, but then notice how it signals this system right here through Colorado, and this thing really just ejects itself out into Kansas, Iowa, Missouri, and it leaves, some snow behind, but it's more of a rain scenario with the European model, which is a little bit weird that they're doing it, the European. But again, it has it slightly to the north, and areas like northern Illinois, Missouri may not be seeing much snow out of this, versus what the GFS was showing, which was way more snow. Or maybe not way more snow, but, an inch or two more, which compared to 0 is way more. And then we have the second system taking a very similar track right there, dropping equally as much snow across Colorado, maybe a little bit less, but very, very heavy snow amounts. Colorado and the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, have been seeing a lot of snow already. The snowpack is way above average, and that's impressive. Usually, they obviously see snow at this time of the year, but maybe not to such proportions, and the cold there will be very chilly as well, so ski resorts are happy, and people that will like skiing as well. But then look at the second system. Basically the same layout as what the GFS has. So, that's interesting how the GFS almost copied the European over like a week time frame, adjusted. But again, it's a little bit further to north, that rain snow line, and cities like Minneapolis would be seeing snow out of this, some heavy snow, while while the GFS is keeping that a little bit to the south of those areas, and then it has it moving out, and then nothing really major in the next after that, in hours after that. But let's look at the snowfall for that system, for those two systems out of the European model. So let's go through this. This is up until now. You can see drops pretty heavy snow across. This is actually underestimated probably by the GFS, but through Tuesday it will probably be way more snow. There's going to be locations where we're going to be seeing possibly up to a foot and a half of snow in the mountains. But that's, typical, as sometimes these models go a little bit askew, and sometimes don't really do the best job, especially in the mountains, but that's okay. Notice how it leaves a pretty nice swath of snow through Wisconsin, Iowa. That first system around the same snowfall amounts as the GFS, just a little bit weirder, as in it's a little bit more centered to the south, with kind of a bullseye across Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, and this really is going to be tough to call, as the rain to snow is going to be really important in this case. A couple of degrees of difference could really make a difference of heavy rain to heavy snow for these locations. So we'll have to see how that's going to plan out. We'll just have to wait for the high resolution models to come and play, as this is going to be occurring, fairly soon, beginning of Tuesday, late Monday, and this is late Saturday now. So, that's basically what we're going to be relying on. Then notice how this second system leaves quite a bit of snow, just not as much as what the GFS is showing. But again, I think the European may be a little bit under displaying some of these amounts, but nevertheless, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, all those numbers are still fairly high in terms of snowfall, and definitely impressive enough to be named a winter storm. And look at these amounts in the Colorado. Now again, I said they were underestimated, so whenever you see 14 inches of snow or something like that, it's probably closer to like 18. And this model run maybe didn't have as good of a handle on it. Earlier the European seemed to be a little bit better off, now it seems to be a little bit farther off. I want to zoom in on Colorado and show you. Let's just zoom in on the whole state of Colorado, and some of these amounts are, they're impressive right there. That's like a hot spot, probably higher in elevation as some sort of peak, probably close to 19, 20 inches of snow. As further south you go, Denver, probably around that half a foot mark, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, depending on the scenario. But again, this may be a little bit underestimated, so keep that in the back of your mind. So yeah, guys, there's a lot to talk about. So basically two systems, one coming in early Tuesday morning into Tuesday the day. That's basically what's going on right now across the mountains. It will be bringing snow across Colorado and then moving out into the plains. And then a second system basically following the same track into Wednesday and Thursday, into Halloween, leaving potentially way more snow than what the European was showing. Leaving way more snow than the first system, and the GFS is showing more snow than what the European was showing. Which one's right? At this point, it's a tough call, as we don't even know which where exactly the placement and whether or not where it will occur versus what model. I'm leaning right now towards the European, just because it seems a little bit more realistic. But sometimes again, that European does a pretty poor job with that rain snow estimates. Or with that rain snow line, we'll just have to see exactly what does occur. And if you're wondering about the pattern after these two storms, still looks fairly cold and rather active. So that's good news if you get missed out by these two systems. So thank you guys so much for watching. Consider liking the video, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you all guys on the next episode. See ya. Bye.